Okay, so I want to talk with you guys a little bit about formatting the page. What you see in the drawing set that I gave to you in the beginning of the semester is very, very basic. Generally, most architecture firms will have, kind of a title of some sort, and then they'll kind of break apart the page with separators. But that's not always the case. But that's a style that I think is very helpful, especially for new users, because then you can kind of tell which content really needs to be in that particular view, okay, and where it should be limited to. So we're going to do that with this, and the way we're going to do that is actually just drawing lines on the page. Okay, so you can draw detail lines in your actual view, and you can draw detail lines on the page as well. Okay, a lot like AutoCAD. So we're going to do DL. And let's just use thin lines for now. And there it is. That's not a good midpoint. So the way I'm going to do this is actually go from the midpoint of the side line, go all the way across. And then I'm going to go from the midpoint of that line and go up and down. I have to start from the middle, unfortunately, because it doesn't have like a... in this kind of condition, it doesn't have a really great orthographic projection alignment system. So I just draw that line and then pull this down. And the reason I did that is because if I tried to do a brand new line and do it on the top line, the midpoint is actually right here because it's measuring the width of the whole line all the way across the page rather than just the drawing area. Does that make sense? Okay. And then there are a whole host of other things that we're going to be doing with this, guys. But just generally speaking, I want you to get them to find their best fit in that view. The scale isn't that critical, but they all need to be the same. And then we're going to organize the actual view itself, the view title, I should say. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm just going to find the scale that is going to maximize without being a super awkward scale. So if I go up to 3/16, it gets a little bit larger, I might have to stick with that. Or 1/4 inch. That's going to be too tight. Okay, so notice how if I try to pull my levels in, it's going to be too tight. So I'm going to stick with 3/16 for these. It's a little odd, but since we're putting all four on one page, I think it's going to be helpful. Okay, we'll probably separate it during the construction documents phase to have only 2 per page because scale is critical in those documents. So the other thing that you guys need to do besides just changing the scale is to move the view title. And I don't think I did a video on this yet. I did show you guys, but anyway, the view title is a little funky. It behaves differently when you have the view selected versus when you don't. So if I select the view, it gives me the option to move the view and the title, even if I'm just trying to move the title. So what I need to do if I want to move the title is select just the title itself, and then I can click and drag and move it kind of down into this corner. Does that make sense? Additionally, if I select the view, that's how I can modify the length of the view title line. It's a little funky and backwards, but it's kind of what we have to deal with. All right, questions on that? All right, so I'd like you to get all these views to be the same scale and have approximately the same title location, and then we'll proceed. And you can kind of just put it down here. Oh, one more thing. If you guys do want to change the viewports, we only have one loaded. That'll be a different lesson, so I'm not going to go there right now. Let's stick with the default for now.